It's Monday. Guys, it is the first Monday of September. Kind of wild, isn't it? I mean, for some of us, this summer has flown by, or maybe it's kind of drug on a little bit. So, for some of us, it is already Tuesday. One of our guests for the stage tonight, it's already his Tuesday. So, a lot of us are in Eastern Standard Time, and that's where I am, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard every single Monday. It's Labor Day in the United States and in Canada. I believe those are the only two countries right now celebrating today. But if you are, please put it in the comments. I would love to know as well. And to some people, Labor Day means different things. Sometimes it is just, oh, it's a free day off of work or it's a paid holiday. For some people, they actually have to work today because it's customer service work, they're emergency personnel. It's not any kind of a special day. Some people don't even get extra rate of pay on Labor Day because it's just a normal day in their rotation. One of my friends just went on shift. He's a police officer that works the 6 to 6 shift. So he's on the road patrolling already and has already had a very busy night. But yet, it's just a normal day for them. So, thinking about the history, especially in America, the history of our workers and the history of employers and how so many people have exploited humans for their own personal gain, whether it was through slavery, whether it was through the Gilded Age, whether it was through people stealing people's land or different indentured servitude, especially for people that were immigrants or people that actually lived here as Native Americans and we took over so many people's own businesses and their property and their homes. And now we are lucky to have a lot of employers that actually care about their staff and they do care about making sure there is a work-life balance for their employees, and they care about having education and professional development, and they care about people working too much or getting burnt out. Now, that's not the case everywhere. There are some agencies, there are some huge businesses, there are some nonprofits even that still expect a ton of work for very little pay for people. Guys, we need to look at that and we need to figure out how can we elevate each other? How can we, if we are the supervisor, if we're the director, if we're the CEO, if we are the business owner or founder, how can we make sure that we're leveling up our staff? How can we make sure that the people that work for us actually care about the work they do? And talking about work life balance is something that, some people are like, it's never going to be a balance. Your life, personal life should always be better than work. Or some people are like, if your work life isn't better, your personal life's going to suffer. It doesn't have to be balanced as equal, guys. It has to be balanced as what it works for you. So tonight we are going to be talking with multiple people that are going to be presenting at the upcoming Work Life Balance Summit that is presented virtually through Dr. Tanya and Damien. They have hosted a variety of summits the past few years together, and they are amazing. Now, guys, this is global. So not only are some of the presenters coming in from other countries, some of the participants are as well. It is a chance to actually learn from people other than your normal people that are doing presentations for you or where you're getting your training from all the time. Having that global opportunity to actually learn from others, guys, it makes the world a little smaller and more united, but it also helps you be like, I don't have to make all the decisions myself. I don't have to be in charge, or I don't have to look for all the answers, because look at all these people that have already went through some of this, or they've been able to elevate their business, or they've turned their HR department into this, or their staff culture has turned this way. Guys, learn from other people. You don't have to create the wheel every time. However, if you are the person that's the leader, or you're the person that likes to present on different topics, guys, people are going to learn from you. And I presented a bunch of times, both in person and virtual conferences and different things. And there has not been one time that I've been the leader or the actual person that's presenting that I haven't learned stuff from the people in the audience, guys. And so please know that when you're a presenter, make sure that you're doing that interaction with people. Make sure that they feel welcome in your space, because even if you are the expert, everybody has different lived experience that they can bring to your room or to your conference or your training. And that also goes for those supervisors out there, guys. Listen to your staff. highlight them, let them have some voices and some things. You don't have to do it all yourself. And so we actually at my office, we just got through staff evaluations this week, and it was really exciting hearing from staff. And we've chose to do a very positive, forward thinking evaluation this year. And it was a much more of a self-reflection than a, did you accomplish your goals, or what are your goals for going forward? It is more of a, thinking about yourself and you being in this not only position, but in this agency. And how can we support you, but how can you support yourself? So I was really excited that we got those done, and they were so positive and I learned a ton. So, guys, let's learn from other people. Are you ready to have some guests on Just Jackson Guests? Because that's what this is all about, right? Y'all know I could just keep on talking, but we've got some pretty amazing people that I want to bring to the stage. I do want to thank the people that are already showing up. Of course, Mr. Aaron Gibson. We just love it when he's here because, he's pretty amazing, isn't he? Mr. Gregory, so great to see you. Oh, he's doing some self-care stuff. Gregory, that's amazing. Did you see my comment about now we got 4 people other than me? We're doing it. And Dr. Marcia's here. Oh, we're so glad that there's more people here. Guys, there's so many good people. Damien's in the house. Leslie's in the house. We've got Kenny Dunner. Oh, we just love him. Tracy, thank you for being here. Guys, this is all about getting people to learn a little bit more, not just about the summit itself, but about the people that are presenting. Because if you can't make it to the summit, or if you're not able to catch it on replay, maybe you'll have them for something else. Maybe you want to hire them to do something. Felipe's here and Noni's here. Oh, I just love seeing such a variety of people here. So are you guys ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. I hope you guys are as well. Okay, here we go. We are going to do all of them on stage. Let's see how tiny our little faces are, and then we might kind of change things up. We are going to bring Miss Sharon Byrne. So glad to have you. We are going to bring Mr. Al Chan. Hello from Tuesday World. So good to see you. Mr. Felipe in the house with us. So glad to see him. And Leslie. Oh, guys, how are you guys all tonight?
Great. We're great.
We're good.
Jackie's got a call on me before I can talk. I love it. Oh, they're all following such good directions. Guys, we all have like such diverse topics. Like usually for Just Jackson Guests, I shout out your guys's questions. I want to know stuff like, what are 2 things you're proud of, things you've accomplished. I want to know something you're still working on, and I want to know where you'd want to travel. But tonight, I want to just dive into who you guys are, what your topic is for the Work-Life Balance Summit, and why you want to talk about this, because that ties into you as a professional. And then if you want to answer any of those other questions, you can. Now, Sharon and Leslie have both been guests before, so they got some of those questions. I don't know, Sharon, if you had to exit before you got through all of them or not. And Mr. Felipe just may be a guest coming up here real soon, so you'll get to hear a lot more from him soon. And Al, this is his first time on my stage, and I'm so glad he's here. I love having somebody from the future on here. It's just the coolest thing. So let's see here. Sharon, you were the first person, I believe, that reached out to me to say that you would be on the show tonight. So we're going to start with you. So will you go ahead and share your topic? If you don't remember the words for words, I do have it written down if I can read my messy writing. But tell us the name of your topic and why in the world you wanted to present on this.
Okay. I think the wording of my topic is the mind-body connection and exercises for everyone.
Very close. It is actually called Honoring the Mind Body Soul Connection Fitness for Everybody. You have like the longest one in history, I think, for a title.
I'm sure. I actually cleared that with Tanya and Damien. I was like, I don't know how to shorten this, but if you do, I'm good. But why I wanted to talk about this is simply because we learn when we are doing work and life that we're supposed to check our personal life at the work door and our work life at the personal door. And I understand that we can all do that to a certain level, but we can't do that completely, because otherwise we're cutting off part of ourselves. It's like asking somebody to cut off a limb. I mean, if I'm a mom, many of us are parents here, right? So, or family members. and friends. So if something's going on with somebody we care about, how are we supposed to just forget about that when we're at work? I mean, it's not possible. And how are we supposed to forget about things that we experience with our clients completely when we're at home? It's just not possible. And so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about it, because I don't feel like we should be asking people to compartmentalize themselves the way we do. And also, if every part of us is healthy, if we deal with a person as a whole, mind, body, soul, then they're going to be able to give more to themselves and others at work, at home, and to the community. And so unless we're healthy as a whole, we cannot, we can't pour from an empty cup. So basically, the more we fill up our own cup in each dynamic, the better off we're all going to be as a whole, society as a whole as well. And the reason exercise is for everyone is because, for those of you that don't know me, and many of you probably do, I was born with a physical disability. And I know people that are getting older and getting into their senior years. And I know people that have acquired their disabilities later in life from accidents or illness. And so oftentimes when you become limited, or you're looked at as limited physically, people forget about how important it is to move your body. And it's not about how big you can make the movements or what you can do. It's about taking what you can do and doing something with it, so that you can have a healthy body within what your body can do. And that's why this was so important to me.
I love that, Sharon. And some of you know, and we're having a little feedback issue. So I don't know, Al, if that's you or if it's Sharon's mic itself. But Sharon, a lot of you guys know that my son was in a really horrendous motorcycle accident a few weeks ago. And when we were in the hospital, he was in there for 2 weeks. He was both on the trauma floor and then he was on the rehab floor. He was the youngest patient by 30, 40, 50 years on both of those floors. And the staff just kept remarking to him about how amazing his attitude was, how positive he was. Even when he was in a lot of intense pain with some of the procedures they were doing with him, he was respectful to them. He would ask them, please, or could you, or could we try it this way? And they just kept remarking how somebody his age, they weren't expecting him to be so pleasant to them. But then they kept saying, because of your youth, you're going to heal a lot faster. You're going to heal better than some people. And it really got me thinking about how I take my body for granted so many times, and how if I had swapped spaces with him and I had those kind of injuries and burns, how would my skin respond? How would my bones heal? How would my muscles be able to even lift me out of the bed? He had to have multiple people like lift his leg for almost 2 full weeks, not quite, but almost 2 full weeks, because he literally could not move his leg. And he's super strong, and me, I'm like, okay, I can hardly even open some jars some days. And so thinking about that, I think your topic is so important to me personally right now. And I think all of us just need to hear that a little bit more. So we'll be talking more about your topic and about who you are, Sharon, real soon. I'm so glad you're here with us. Al, go ahead and unmic. Thank you so much for being here. How are you tonight?
Hi, yeah, I'm good, fine. Yeah, I'm in Malaysia and it's 12 hours ahead of Eastern. Yeah, and I'm a talent scout for acting. So my topic for the Work-Life Balance Summit is from chemical products to showbiz. So it's a total 180 degrees change what my career is, coming from a chemical engineering background. So I do export of palm oil products and all that. And after that, I pivoted over the past 12 to 15 years back, when I started to go into acting. And from there, I developed my own business of a talent agency. So I have my own talent agency based in Malaysia. And I also supply talents all throughout Malaysia. And sometimes where production requires them to go overseas, I supply some to even Japan, Singapore, and Indonesia as well. Yeah, so this is what I've been doing for the past decade, after pivoting from a chemical engineer, being a white collar role in a working environment. And I'm running my own business then Then after that, I changed and pivoted totally into a new different industry. And everybody is thinking that I'm a very brave soul, trying to move to something out of the norm, that I'm doing. And actually, I'm enjoying it until today because this is my passion. When I was very small, I loved to watch movies, a Hong Kong movie drama series from my parents' room and all that. So even during exams, so I'm a movie buff. Actually, I can actually go to all types of movie genres, even from romantic movies, right up to action-packed, up to horror movies, and all types of different type of movies. So I can watch movie for hours and hours. Yeah. So basically, I love all kind of movie from everywhere in the world, from US, from Europe, and even sometimes there's different languages. I just read the subtitles. Even like Indian movie or whichever. French. All those type of movies. Yeah. So this is what I've been. I'm just loving it because. There's so much diversity or variety, when it comes to acting. You can go into different type of roles. Like one day you can be a doctor, and tomorrow you can be a janitor, or even you can be a lawyer, or anything you can want to be. So you can be so many career paths you can actually take while you're doing the acting. And you just get to fit into the different character roles, each time. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks, Noah.
Did you read that? Did you see that, Al?
You got a good translation.
Awesome.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love your willingness to change careers, because that's one thing that the way I grew up is you needed to know what you wanted to be before you left high school, and you better get that college degree in exactly that one field, and don't plan on ever straying. Don't question your bosses. You got to dress the part. You got to listen to all of them. And it's like, wow, sometimes I don't even like to eat the same food from a week ago. Why would I want to stay in the same role forever if it didn't work for me? So I am so proud of you for taking that leap. And it was fun because just hearing your passion when you talked about movies and watching them and watching different characters, like I don't watch many movies. It's just not on my schedule. I just don't have the time for it right now. And it's like listening to you talk about it, I'm like, I think I might need to pop a movie in before too long. Do they even say pop a movie in? I mean, like hit Netflix or one of those things. I don't have Netflix, so that won't work. But you know what I mean, right? Al, such a joy having you here tonight. I know some of my guests are just meeting, or some of the people in the audience are just meeting you for the first time. So for those of you that are just tuning in now, all 5 of us are going to be presenting at what is called the Work-Life Balance Summit. And this is actually a summit that is coming up next month. It is going to be virtual. So you can be in your jammies. You can be doing it at work with your colleagues. You can be doing this from any country you want. And you can even catch the replay. So the cool thing about this conference is that it's so diverse. First of all, you're going to have people that are so talking about topics that you're like, is that really work-life balance? I never thought about it that way. Oh my gosh, that's totally work-life balance, but it's also totally for me as a human. So definitely this is a conference for everybody. It is not like I go to some social work conferences or some re-entry conferences and all you talk about is kind of the same thing with just different presenters. They might give you a little different twist, or they might give you a couple different options, but it's pretty much the same focus, and you're supposed to have that same kind of the same mindset about what you're learning, where this, you go into Sharon's class and you're talking about moving your body and how it's important for everybody, no matter what. You jump over to Al and you're talking about movies and why it's okay to change careers and what your passion needs to dictate to you. And then you jump to Felipe and Leslie and I and all the other presenters. Guys, there's so many presenters and you don't even have to watch them live. Now, I'm encouraging you guys to watch them live because then it's instant feedback. You can interact a little bit more. Maybe the presenters will even respond to your questions. But if you can't, you can watch the replays for weeks afterwards, guys. Usually it's like 30 days. That means if you're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't log in when Felipe was on, but I really wanted to catch his segment, catch it when you can the next time. You can just log back in and see it. So this is like one of the coolest things. And I am doing this plug completely unshamelessly because I believe so strongly in getting more information into every one of our heads. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many degrees you have after your name. I don't even care, like, if you've invented stuff, if you've wrote in books or magazines, or if you've been on stage somewhere. You deserve to keep on learning. And that's what this is all about. So Al, thank you again for being here. I'm going to have you mute again, and we're going to turn it over to Miss Leslie Flowers. Thank you so much for being here. Let's hear about your workshop title and why you wanted to bring that to this summit.
Well, thank you for having us all, Jackie. And you're amazing, actually, how you encapsulate each person's share. It's very unique, and I had noticed it before, which is a wonderful way of letting people know that they've been heard, that you heard them, and also a way for people in the audience to hear it again in a different way. So I don't know if that's on purpose, but it's really nice. So my topic is the road to consistent goal achievement. And I've been doing goal achievement for 18 years now. And I have consistent results with my clients. Now, people do have different ways of setting and achieving goals, but there really is a distinction between haphazard and sporadic versus consistent. Consistency in results allows us to build momentum, to grow faith in our ability and deservability where we may not have felt that way. And so over the last 18 years, with a lot of help from old Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich 100 years ago. Now, I dated him back then, but he was not my type. Anyway, there is a way which mimics the real process of manifestation. That is how ideas actually come into physical form. And there is a way, but nobody ever taught us. And that's the work that I've been doing. So the distinction between consistent and inconsistent, you can see the difference. And so I'm going to reveal the 12 laws of achievement and the exact pattern that you can follow to achieve every time. And there's a lot of good in that. So I do this about once a year, and the Work-Life Balance Summit is a lot of fun. I'll come up with some kind of cool workshop at a reduced rate to take what I'm teaching a little further, because we're all teaching things, and hopefully at a basic level to cover all audiences. I do that. But then the real questions happen within 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even 2 to 3 days after you experience someone's presentation where it's resonated for you. You start thinking about and come up with really good questions that you weren't ready to ask when you first heard the material. So probably every speaker will have a call to action where you can engage in some way to continue the parts of the conversation that interested you. So that's it for me.
I love that so much. You dropped so much knowledge there, Leslie. Like the word consistency alone is something that a lot of people don't use in their day-to-day talking, but yet it is so powerful. Now, some people will talk about their habits or their kind of like their agenda or their expectations of themselves, but they don't think about like consistently moving forward. So many people think it's luck when something good happens, or, oh, I'm never going to accomplish that goal because it costs too much money. I don't have enough time. I'm so busy. Life just sidetracked me. And the fact that you're going to bring that for consistency is so huge. And I appreciate that so much. I think I've attended almost every one of your sessions that you've presented at through these different summits. And I learned so much because not only do you share so much of your personal knowledge, you actually bring in some of that research and some of the different reasons that you're focused on that. And that's something people just can't make up. You can't make up, 50, 100 years worth of information just because you feel like talking about it. And I appreciate that about you. Also, Leslie talked about this call to action. So call to action means, hey, if you're going to attend the summit, we value that. And not just because, I mean, Damien and Dr. Tanya, they are the founders. They are the ones that are rocking and rolling this, but they let us share our information with people, and they're not charging us to do this. There are some, I have been invited to be a guest speaker in many different conferences, and they're like, oh, by the way, you still have to pay the registration fee for the event. And I'm like, you got to be joking. Do you know how much time I prep to speak at something like this? And you're not even going to pay me, let alone waive my registration fee. So they let us get in front of audiences that we may not be able to really connect with other than for this, and being able to offer the viewers an opportunity to learn more from us, either maybe at a discount or maybe at a early bird special or some kind of an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a once in a lifetime experience. And it's something that might look different for each presenter, or you may just be like, man, I just can't stop listening to Leslie. I want to learn more about her. Or, you know, what Leslie talked about is a little over my brainwave right now, but I'm going to write her information down. And when I am ready in those 2 weeks or that 2 months down the road, or maybe it's even a year, I know who to circle back around. But that stuff that Sharon was talking about, I can see myself starting to get a little bit of walk in or stretch in my body in. I can do that today because that might not take me, you know, an agenda or actually writing stuff down. Now, let me tell you about the adult brain, guys, because you know I'm all about mindset in terms of mental wellness and really taking care of ourselves. If you don't realize it, I mean, some of us are getting old, guys, okay? It's a good situation to be in because not everybody does. But that means our brain absorbs knowledge in a different way. And that's a beautiful thing, too. Now, one thing I know about the adult learner is we all need to multitask while we're listening to stuff. Now, many of you guys in the comments, you might be washing your dishes right now. You might be playing video games while you're listening to us. That doesn't mean you're not tuned in. It doesn't mean your brain isn't going to listen to this. Now, I remember growing up in school, we had to sit straight. We had to take our notes and stare at the teacher and the chalkboard. You could not stray at all, or you were getting like the little ruler slammed on your desk, or you were going to have your nose up against the chalkboard, or you would have to get down to the principal's office. That's not how my mind works at all. Now, I have to be doodling. I have to be reading something, typing responses to emails while I'm listening to presenters, and that's okay. But it might not work for you that way. You may have to have it totally quiet while you're writing that stuff down and do it in a way that works for you. But I do encourage you to understand that you are going to listen to every presenter in a different way. Al's going to share stuff with his tone of voice and his passion and his knowledge in a way that is him. I'm going to share my way in my tone of voice with my kind of passion, what works for me. You may not love the way I talk, or you might not be able to follow as fast as Al's going, but it's going to meet in the middle somewhere. And then you can replay these and you can be like, oh, Sharon talked about this one part and I did not write it down, or I cannot even remember. I thought for sure I was going to remember about that. But Leslie's stuff, I got 5 pages of notes on her stuff. So I know I don't have to go back and watch her session. You can do whatever works for you. You can take those brain breaks. They build some breaks into the summit. It's not like I go to someone's in person and you literally have 3 minutes to get from one room in one hall all the way across the hall and try to sneak into the bathroom and refill your water and get a good seat. And boom, you missed 10 minutes of the presentation, where they actually have some buffer room in this. And it works out really good, especially like I always buy a ticket. So my whole staff, anybody that's in the building, on the Friday session, they can just come in and out of whatever session they're not working with a client on. They can sit there for the 45 minutes. They can tag out. Sometimes they can be there for the whole day. And it's a pretty cool thing because there might be 6 of us watching and we all have a different favorite thing that we learned that day, or even sometimes in the same workshop. I think most of them went to one of Leslie's not too long ago, and this person said that they liked this part and this person said they really understood this, or they never heard about this one. And I'm like, how did we all watch the same exact thing and we all took something different? But that's the way we want it to be. And that's what works for us. So Mr. Felipe, you have been so patient. Have you guys ever heard Felipe wait this long to talk on a live? I'm sorry, I had to since Melissa isn't on stage with us. So, Mr. Felipe, go ahead and unmute, introduce yourself, your topic, and why you're presenting this.
Well, thank you very much, Jackie. And hello, everyone. It's great to see everyone here in the comments. Yeah, this is, and I don't know if this is the third or fourth year that Dr. Tanya and Damien have been doing this, but kudos to them for consistently doing this and bringing so many great people. Like Jackie said, it's such great topics. The one I'm doing is the AI advantage, or the AI wellness advantage, excuse me. And it really, I'm focusing on that because reality is AI is continuing to evolve. It's not stopping. I'm writing policies, doing training for it at work. I'm not putting the policies in the handbook because I know that next week I might have to update the hot policy the way it's changing. So I'm not going to wait for the final version of AI to come out because there probably never will be a final version. So that's why I encourage people to start doing it now to help them with their overall wellness at work and at home. And I've been testing this over and over again at work. I'm doing it right now through training. I did it at home with my wife and my mother and my sister. And it's amazing. Like Jack said, everyone learns differently. I'm not going to sit there and show my sister and my mother and my wife how to write better in AI. That's not going to capture their attention. But guess what? How to meal plan and recipes. Like my sister's like, oh, I saw this great recipe. I wish I'd written it down. I can't remember it. I'm like, okay, stop. You're going to start searching internet, social media for hours. Can I show you something? I go, type it in here, what you're looking for. What else was in, what do you remember about the recipe? Okay, great. Now ask it to search the internet for a similar recipe and see if you can find it. Boom. She goes, oh, this is it. This is exactly the one. I go, exactly. Google will help you narrow it down. AI is going to help you find it directly, and that's going to save you time. And at the end of the day, when we're stressed and burnt out and overworked or at home or at work, what's usually the number one complaint? Think about it. I don't have enough time. AI can help you with that. So that's why it's an important topic for me to help people realize how it can help you customize your overall wellness, whether it's a physical wellness plan, a mental wellness plan, a financial plan, a meal plan. There's so many different ways of doing it. And so showing use cases, some examples, and some successes with it. So I'm looking forward to sharing that. Hopefully people can take away some good prompts and use cases where they can customize them for them in their life. Because I mean, you're right, everyone does learn differently. I know that I need like the radio on when I'm doing work. However, if I'm learning something new, I need complete silence. I don't want any distractions. If it's something new, I need to focus 100%. But if I'm doing work that I'm used to doing, like reports that I'm doing every month, or if I'm doing recruiting, I want some noise in the background. I want some music. I want something in the background because I need that. So I'm just like that with you, Jackie. But as you were talking, I was thinking, well, hold on. If I'm watching a webinar that I know the topic about the webinar better than they do, I'm like, okay, other stuff, I'm doing other stuff. But it's like, oh, wait, I don't know about this. Just turn off everything and focus. So I think it is important to remember, just because we share our styles, it doesn't mean it has to be the exact copy for you. Take it, tear it apart, figure out what works, and paste it back together for yourself. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great event. I know I'm talking on Friday, I think. So I look forward to doing that. And I look forward to going to all the other events. Like Jackie said, there's a little break. And I always get so much from all the other events because, like Jackie said, none of us are sharing anything identical.
No.
Every one of us have a different, if it's not a different topic, it's a different perspective on a similar topic.
Yeah, I love that, Felipe. And Damien and Dr. Tan, you do a super great job of actually, not only do they check out who the presenters are, but they do make sure that it's not a duplicate information. Now, it may be maybe somebody was going to do yoga with goats, and the other one might do yoga at the workplace. Two totally different things. Now, if I could get goats in my building, I would, but I don't think we can right now. But, totally different mindset on that. And I love that. And, one of the cool things is that technology has literally changed so much since the COVID pandemic. We weren't doing Zoom meetings and team meetings and all these things, even remotely, to the extent of like what people do in maybe a day now, maybe they would do in a whole year, if that. Some of those programs weren't even out there. And to think of how that shift was, I remember my first couple of Zoom meetings, I think I sat stiff without even breathing, like, I don't want to hit the wrong button. I don't want to, make any noise. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, are they literally looking at my whole house? Are they just looking at me? So much has changed. And now I don't mind going off camera and do. Now, one of the worst things I got to tell you though, and I'm not shaming anybody here, but I have done a presentation. I think I've had like 75 people in the Zoom meeting. And this was not one of Dr. Tanya or Damien's. These were all professional people in the public health sector. I'm not going to call them out specifically, but these are very educated people that have to do trainings all the time. 75 people. That's like I think it was 3 screens full of Zoom people. Guess how many people had their cameras on while I was presenting for 45 minutes? Just me. Guys, it's so difficult to do that interaction. So as presenters, I now prepare to not see one face, because I was crushed when I did that a couple years ago. I'm like, why are they not interacting? Are they sleeping? Am I boring? Do they not like what I did? But then I got the evaluations afterwards. They were paying attention. They all talked about things that they liked, things that they wish they knew more information about, different things like that. So please, I'm not shaming people. If you can come to this session and you can listen, but you can't be on screen because you didn't do your hair, because you got screaming kids in the background, whatever that is, that's okay. If you have that privilege, I can say, to actually be on camera during it when it's live, it's such a different experience. But don't discount it. If you can't be on camera, still go or watch the replay of it. That's the beauty of this. Like, you can't take your kids to an in-person conference. You can't walk in there in your jammy pants. It's just not an option doing something in real life. So Felipe, your spin on what your wife might want out of AI versus your daughter versus your mom, you are so right about that. And I think so many of us were like, who needs AI? That's just, that's for people that don't want to take time to do stuff. That's only for techie people or really young people. Guys, I designed one of my new it's not scheduled yet, but it's real close. I designed one of my next tattoos through AI. I mean, it's something that I am not going to have AI write my comments back to people, not even really a post. I might get a couple, like maybe I'll get a topic or something, but it's all going to be my own writing, because that's how I want to use my words. Besides, I got so much up here that it's got to get out before I can't use it anymore. But when I'm talking about creating things, you talked about policy. I had to come up with a policy. We got a whole new security system at our office, and we never had sound on our security cameras in our old building. Now we have sound. So now we had to put a policy so staff can't just listen into certain rooms, and how they know how to turn off the sound so that people aren't being recorded when they're in private confidential sessions. It would have taken me probably a month to come up with that by myself. AI literally spit it out in about 45 seconds, and we had to change maybe 3 of the different items and either cut them out or add to them. It was like it knew what we were talking about. So I'm so excited for your workshop, just like I'm excited about all of them, because it is so diverse. It's so much information. We can all expand our knowledge. And I think that's one of the coolest things, is that when you think you know it all, your brain kind of shuts down and you stop learning. And when you stop learning, guys, the health problems start, the mental stuff kind of gets a little weird. Your brain starts forgetting stuff. Now, you may know everything about this topic, or pretty much everything, but you don't know about this, this, and this, and this. So let your brain expand. Let it get some new knowledge. Let it learn from different people's tone of voices and their lived experience and their educated experience. Whatever works for you, definitely use this time. So I got a question for all the people that are on the screen right now. Does anybody remember what my topic's title is?
Something about budgeting.
That's part of it.
Okay.
I love this. This is a game I usually play when I'm doing my court groups. I always ask the participants if they know what the name of the class is they were referred to by the judge. They never remember.
Isn't it about budgeting something on it when you're traveling? Like,
not necessarily traveling. The actual official title is Balancing It All on a Budget.
That's right. I couldn't remember the first word. I know it's something on the budget, but I couldn't remember balance.
Work-life balance. And guys, it's not just about money. If you've ever been in one of my rooms, if you've ever been to one of the summits I've been able to present at, I like to get a topic that kind of grabs your attention and then throw other things into that. So we are going to be talking not just balancing money, but how our lifestyle, both in our personal world and our professional world, can impact our financial budget and how it does make a difference and how we can balance it in a way that works for us. Because what works for Felipe might not work for Al. What works for Al, Leslie's like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. So we're going to just brainstorm and we're going to come up with some ways that do work for some people, or how you can start modifying it for you. Because guess what? What works for you may not work for your spouse. And they are spending all their energy and all their money, what you think is wasted stuff, but it works for them. And that can bring some tension into that relationship, into that household, maybe into that business partnership, or into that supervisor employee world too. So those are some of the things that I want to bring to the table during my session. Guys, this is one of the most cost-effective conferences you could attend because you're getting so many different workshops and you have the availability to watch them later. And like I said, Dr. Tanya and Damien, they have not said, oh, only one person can be sitting at the screen per ticket. They have encouraged people, if you do have a group, if your spouse wants to watch with you, your daughter wants to watch with you, your colleague, they want the information out there. So it's a pretty cool thing. Now, all presenters were given some discounted tickets. I know I have still one $20 ticket still available. If somebody wants to private message me, I'd love to give that away. It is not something, like I said, if you just don't think you're available to sit there for a full 2 days, you can watch an hour here, 2 hours the next day. If a topic doesn't really interest you, I guarantee it's going to interest you more than you probably expected. But you can skip those if you want to. For $20, guys, come on, you don't want to miss this. But even the full rate, the full price for the 2 days or for 1 day, it's ridiculously cost effective, at least for what I see for conferences going around and ones that I've been a part of, ones I've had my agency pay for and ones I've had to pay out of pocket. So do any of you guys still have at least one of your $20 ticket left? Or
Yes.
I do. Jackie, I want to ask you a question, may I?
Sure.
About your topic. I know I'm changing subject, but I didn't know where to jump in. Okay. So you brought up a really interesting point about work-life balance and money and relationships. And I wonder if during your presentation, something I realized, one of these aha moments years ago, in a back and forth situation, a role playing, where the other person was being money. And it was about our relationship with money. And we got down to what really was going on. And I spoke to money as though, you betrayed me. Where were you when I needed you? I work plenty hard, but you don't last. And I realized in that moment that my relationship with money sounded a lot like my relationship with my husband. And so I wondered, since you brought that up, if you might be able to address that, because that is kind of it's a little off on a tangent, yet for me, it was stunning that I was angry with money or felt betrayed by money.
Oh, I appreciate you talking about that. And what I'm going to share is, buy a ticket or get a $20 ticket and you will get an answer for this. So Leslie, you get in free since you're a presenter. So you're going to hear exactly what I talk about afterwards. I cannot express enough how different a poverty mindset is when we're going to be talking about this topic, and what it is like for people in different communities or countries that may not have the flexibility of having a dual income or having a savings account or getting paid a fair wage. So we are going to hit on a lot of that stuff. But guys, I got 45 minutes. I cannot change the world in 45 minutes, but we're going to talk about a lot. Just like, Sharon is not going to have you lose 75 pounds in her 45-minute session, but you are going to learn how to get up and stretch. Now, Al is a talent scout. So if he scopes you out in the audience and he's like, man, maybe she could do a horror film, that is not me. because I will have nightmares the rest of my life, Al. But if you want to hook me up for reading an audiobook, I'd be down for that. Felipe's going to talk about AI, and he's going to open up your world to different opportunities to use it. But like he said, the minute his session ends, AI might have had 79 different upgrades. So you're going to get these teasers. Leslie is going to have a little bit more consistent expectation. Did you see how I did that, Leslie? Consistent goals, because hers is going to be more structured in terms of these 12 steps and how you do it. But every single thing you're going to hear about is going to be not just a teaser. It's going to give you concrete knowledge to work forward on. And you may say, this is exactly what I needed, and I can move forward and go all the way. Or you're going to be saying, I need to book with Leslie. I need some one-on-one coaching with Felipe. I need to talk more about this transitional work and how to get into the movie business with Al. Or maybe, with the work that Sharon does, she's talking about, fitness, but I feel like I want more of some of her advocacy work or some of her coaching or the financial part of it. That's okay. It's okay if you go in wanting one thing and you get something totally else out of it, because that's the beauty of expanding this thing up here, is you never know who's going to open that door for you, and your brain is just going to sizzle and it's going to be all exciting. So I'm going to go around one more time because, guys, this time is flying and Jackie keeps talking a little bit too much. So Al, go ahead and unmic. Is there anything that you want to tell us about you personally, or about something that you're excited about coming up for you that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, I just love going on the summits because everybody gets to know each other. Speaker gets to know each other, and speaker also gets to know about the audience and what they do and what they like. So it's important to build the relationship. Whether it's on screen or even off screen. Because on virtual we can meet with so many people in the world, and with that we also develop our portfolio. When we go onto LinkedIn and when people message you, oh, I saw you on the summit. Oh, okay, let's chat, and we can start developing the kind of rapport that we need to be, and slowly you can even develop a business together, or even make a movie. Come to Malaysia. Malaysia is a very economic, cost competitive country. I mean, people can just come here and have a diversity. We have so many races here. It's a melting pot of culture here. So movie producers, filmmakers, everybody can just come over and collaborate. And I can just take them around and enjoy all the different types of food that they can take, instead of just taking steak or what burgers or French fries. In the Western countries, you can have noodles here. You can so many types of variety. Rice. Every type of different food. You can enjoy over here in Malaysia. Just think out of the box. It's a global outreach to everyone. Just go for leisure, and they can just enjoy a different country, different atmosphere. Yeah, that's what
I love this
I can
so
think
much
of right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Al. I think one of the coolest things about LinkedIn specifically is what a global platform it is. And it's brought so many of us together because of the old audio events we had, and then now these lives and getting things like the Work-Life Balance Summit and some of the other summits other people have had. It almost makes you feel like they're literally sitting in your living room sometimes, or across the table at the office with you. And you know what Al said about the traveling, in so many people don't get out of their own neighborhoods. They don't get out of their own state, and certainly not their own country, because life is so busy. If we don't have that work-life balance, how can we travel and learn things firsthand and experience these different cultures? Al, I don't know if you know or not, but I was able to make it to all 50 states in the United States last year. So my next goal before my next milestone birthday is to get to all 7 continents. I don't know how in the world I'm ever going to afford Antarctica, but Asia, in Europe and Australia and a little bit of Africa. I'm trying to decide which one is going to be first next year, but I'm leaning towards, I was thinking Thailand, but now you're kind of wooing me into the Malaysia. So I might, if you have a role for me, I'll coordinate it with you for sure. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to your workshop too. Okay. Thank you, Al. Leslie, go ahead. And is there anything else you wanted to share with the group about things you have going on between now and the summit, or other things that you just want us to know about you that we didn't talk about yet? I mean, that could go on for 17 hours. When you were on stage last time, I'm like, we've got so much to talk about, Leslie.
I know. Well, there's two things that I wanted to share about this summit and the extraordinary advantage we have having Al with us. One of the things the audio rooms really did for me, more so than video, but it's still working, is the ability to listen to people from other countries speak English and comprehend. So, right, you have to learn to listen and practice listening. And so it's a really good experience to get in rooms with people that are from different countries. I know, for example, in Africa, there's a lot of different dialects in the way people speak, and also for Malaysia and the whole Southeast Asia area. And I've listened to so many patiently that now I hear it just like English. So that's something that you can look forward to. And so thank you, Al, for participating, because it's a skill listening to dialects like that. There's real content there, but we can't always process it because we're not used to the way it's spoken. The other thing is if you're an attendee to the event, yes, you've bought tickets and hopefully you've gotten the discounted ones. And that is an investment. But set a budget for yourself as an attendee, that if you see something that someone is doing or offering as a call to action to continue the conversation and you're really inspired by it, set a budget. Maybe it's only $50 or $75, and don't let it burn a hole in your pocket, but be prepared to invest in yourself, because our results usually always exceed or match our level of investment. So it's kind of out of the field of the subject here, but I can tell you that if you set a budget, you'll be a lot more comfortable when you see different things that people are offering and you say, okay, well, I know I have this much to spend. What exactly will I be doing? Don't go there with no budget and then want to do so many things. It gives you a little control. It might only be $25, but do that for yourself. You might be surprised at how that boundary that you're setting really helps you enjoy the whole event better. Thank you.
So thankful that you talked about investing in yourself, because number one, you deserve it. We all deserve it. We will invest in those cupcakes down the road sometimes, or that McFlurry, or that mocha jambalaya, whatever you got to do. We'll invest in that. Sometimes that's $8. You do that 3 times a week, boom, you might have just paid for a course that you could attend. So really think about what your investment is. Also, guys, guess what? If you are a business owner, if you have some kind of a side business, this can be a business expense. If you do not own a business, if you are the staff person, go to your HR, go to your manager, go to your business owner. Say, this is professional development. Everyone in the building can benefit from this stuff. Most places have some kind of a professional development budget. And if you don't ask, they're not going to always tell you, or they are not going to just say, hey, Sharon, you want to go to this training? I can pay $500 so you don't have to pay out of pocket. Go ask them, say, guys, this is going on. This is something that we can all benefit from. And you're going to possibly get some yeses, and they're going to be like, that's the cost for all these presentations. I would have paid that for one of these sessions for some people. So definitely check into that and see. It's not too late to get tickets, guys. The week of the 21st of September is going to be what they call Meet the Presenters Week. Dr. Tanya and Damien on their Sunday night show, they are going to be highlighting. There will be a couple of us on each night and talking a little bit more, kind of like we're doing now. This is a teaser to get you to say you still have a month to either save up to buy your ticket or to get your boss to pay for your ticket. So really consider that. Felipe, turning to you. Anything else you wanted to share? Because we just happen to know this person just became this really cool author guy. Anything else you want to share?
Well, since you brought it up, yes, I do have my book up, Random Max. It came out, so I'm very excited about that. I have 4 live streams and podcasts. I'll be talking about it coming up. One show is yours, Jackie. But I also just finished writing out the Spanish version, and so the Spanish version of this is ready to go. I'm just waiting for Nick to get back to me on a few details. And then I do have a cartoon shorts, like live action cartoon short. Did I say that right? Live act, not real, cartoon short video, audio, or animated, that I had AI help me create actually. And that goes with the song that was written by Mike LeBlanc. So there'll be some stages of the book coming out, and then after all that's done, I'll do the next one. But other than that, I do have my Social Saturday chat crew every Saturday at 12 noon if you ever want to join us here on LinkedIn for that. And on September 7th, Careers, Chaos, and Coaching with Melissa Houston and I come back. And on September 14th, Workplace Wellness Hour with Samana Jetty and Ashley Llewellyn comes back. And on September 18th, I am starting a new, I'm not even going to call it monthly. It's going to be just as people rise, a new focus on the future voices of work. And it's got a little Felipe and Friends kind of connection to it. And the first person I'll be interviewing is none other than my own CEO and president of PRB, talking about the future of work, the value of LinkedIn for CEOs, and what things we should be doing right now to make sure that we are still relevant in the future. So that's what I have coming up. I'm a little bit busy, but I'm excited.
Your September is going to be poppin'. Felipe will be on stage with me for 2 weeks. You'll get to hear the answer to those 3 questions that I usually ask guests when there's not a big group of people on here. And we'll talk more about his book and some of these cool things he just shared about. Felipe, thank you so much for sneaking in tonight to join us, because I know it's a holiday weekend. And I kind of just threw this up there a couple days ago to all the people that were presenting and said, hey, if you're available. And I didn't even get to give him a good shout out in the event post, but he's here. And he is going to have some great information to share with us. So thank you so much as well for being here. Miss Sharon, what do you want to share before we end up with rolling this out?
So what I want to share really quickly is that because I believe in holistic or comprehensive wellness, I will be covering the mind, body, soul connection. And we will be moving in my presentation, but we'll also be talking about how the mind, body, and the soul need to work together. And we need to take care of all that. But I have added one layer to my services, and that is financial wellness and financial coaching. Because here's the thing. The truth is, we cannot be totally healthy without this tool called money. Money doesn't buy happiness. Money doesn't buy it does buy peace of mind in the sense that we have access to what we need, and we have access to opportunities. We also have access to helping others by being able to do more. So that's going to be part of my presentation, but that'll be a small part of my presentation, but it is what you're going to see me say a lot more about, because we've been shying away from being able to speak our truth about money and our need for money. And I don't want people to have to live that narrative anymore. I want people to be free and liberated. So.
Thank you for that, Sharon. Thank you. So even though my topic is about budgeting, I am not going to be a financial coach to anybody. So don't be calling me up for financial coaching. Call Sharon or one of the other presenters or another coach for that. I am going to get you thinking about it then. So then you can just kind of use all her information and go from there. Guys, I am excited about all 4 of your workshops, and the other presenters, I need to deep dive a little bit more into what they're going to be presenting on, but I know they'll all be amazing, or Dr. Tanya and Damien would not have them on under their name and everything. I can't thank you guys enough for not only being here on a holiday weekend, and for Al, it's so early in the morning for you. Thank you so much. I encourage everybody to go to the creativelivingIdeas.com page. You click on, there's usually like the dot up at top. If you don't want to type this all out, it's called the Work-Life Balance Summit under their drop down. And then you scroll down a little bit. There's a really cool video. It shows all the pictures of the different presenters and a couple things about the summit. But then if you go down a little farther, it says click for tickets. Guys, click that. It does not automatically charge you at all, but it'll show you the price. It'll show you the layout, the agenda. It'll give you all the names of the presenters and the workshop titles. That's what you want to take to your boss if you want them to pay for your professional development. Show them, look, I'm going to learn about goal setting. Don't you want me to consistently meet all the goals that you've given me for the week or the month or the year? Don't you want me to be more physically able to move around and do stuff? Don't you want me to learn this new AI stuff? Because nobody else is competent in it. So let me go to this, pay for it. That's what you want to do, guys. So thank you, fellow presenters. I'm so excited to have you here. This was so short notice and you rocked it all. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm going to drop you guys down. I'm going to wrap up just a minute and then we will be done with this episode of Just Jax. Thank you guys so much for being here. Do you have any idea how powerful that feels when you just push somebody and they just disappear on you? It's the weirdest feeling. Thank you so much to everybody that was here, guys. I can't tell you enough how much it means that I have support on this show, that you're willing to highlight these amazing guests that come here each week. Every one of them I learned something from, or I learned different things about them, because some of these guys I've been connected with, it's almost going on 4 years now, and I still learn new stuff. So if you've missed different episodes of Just Jax and Guests, please go back and check some of the replays. You can find them either on my LinkedIn page or you can find them on my YouTube channel, which is just like my name is on here. You just don't do the comma. If you do the @ Jackie Hallberg LMSW, you'll pop right up. I'm starting to do a few more little shorts so that they're just like a quick little topic here and there. I will be doing some scheduled interviews with some people that just can't make this evening time or the early morning time if they're on the other side of the globe. But really check them out. We've got some amazing people. I'm almost booked all the way through September, except for that last week. So if you want to be a guest on Just Jax and Guests, guys, it's really easy to do. Yes, send me a message, and you have to agree that you're not going to be disrespectful to anybody. That means you're not going to be like yelling at people for, you know, the way they look or talk or where they're from or what skin color they have or anything like that. I think you can handle that, right? All right. If you're interested in being a guest, make sure to reach out for me. Next week is all about reentry, and I'm super excited to feature the guests that are coming on stage. It's so funny because Rita, she is right here in Michigan, and her and I have still not met in person. It's going to be crazy. The first time we officially talk, other than through just messages, we're going to be on Just Jax and Guests next Monday. Don't miss it. We want you to learn from these people, not because of how, you know, many books they've written or because of the titles they've had or their degrees they've got, because they are all cool humans. Because guys, we were meant to be a human for a reason, weren't we? Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out. I would be happy to get you on stage as soon as possible, as long as it meets your needs. Take care. Be nice to yourself. Get yourself some professional development. Check out the Work-Life Balance Summit. $20 ticket. I got one more left, and that covers the whole thing. It's both days, and you still get the 30 days. Reach out to me, or some of the presenters that were on tonight said they still had a ticket too. Thank you, Damien and Dr. Tanya, for all you do to make this very affordable and very amazing. And like Al said, we as presenters, we get to know each other more. It's really cool for us too. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And with that, I'm going to say have a great rest of your day, night, however you go, and I will see you next Monday.